Hello there and welcome. This is Monster Train. I am Fly Penguin, and we're going to be giving a look at this new release by Good Shepherd Entertainment. It is a deck building roguelike. We're going to be starting a new run that is formally released today, May 21st. It's been in beta quite a bit from, I believe, April or something, but I've only just now gotten to look at it. This is not the tutorial. We recorded with the tutorial, but I recorded with my dryer on, so it sounded terrible. Hellhorn is one of the clans that you start with, and if you notice, you can grab an allied clan. You're always going to have two. That's one of the interesting mechanics that this game brings, and each clan feels a little bit different from the other ones. I'm going to play as the Awoken first, which are a little bit more tanky, a little bit more beefy, and then the allied clan I'm going to leave as the Hellhorn. If you notice, I guess you could do random and then really figure it out whenever you get in there. I have no wins yet. This is my first actual game after the tutorial. And I'll be walking through a few of the mechanics and then giving just kind of an overview for the things that this game brings if you would like to purchase this or look into it yourself. So you start by being able to upgrade your champion, which you are not able to do in the tutorial. I would like to give spikes to my champion. And each faction has one champion associated with it, or one that I've seen so far, rather. And we start with an artifact as well. So unlike Slay the Spire, where you always have the same artifact, it looks like here we gain something a little bit different. When a card with Consume is played, deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit, or spells gain an extra upgrade slot. I think spells having an extra upgrade slot is going to give us a lot of value whenever we start getting to some of those high-level spells. The first defense, foot soldiers of the Disciples of Seraph, weak attackers hidden in the back line, take them down. I'm not going to take this trial, although I could, and I'll explain a little bit about what that means, but basically there's modifiers that could make the game harder or easier or more difficult, etc., but then you get a bigger reward. More risk, more reward. If you feel like you're steamrolling, it's a good idea to take them, but this is, again, the first game of the new hand. So the premise of the game is that we are essentially the Spire in Slay the Spire. We are the bad guys. We are the monsters, and home is hell. But hell has quite literally frozen over, and so we are on this train that is bringing the pyre, the last shard of it rather, to create fire in hell, and we're gonna redo it. And so on this train, enemies will appear, all of them having some sort of different theme, different boss at the end of the fight, and they're going to be trying to make their way up to our pyre to take it out and destroy it. Our job is to prevent that from happening by playing various cards, playing various spells. Look down here, it's a spell, and doing so in a manner that kills these units before they reach the pyre. We have 3 floors from which to do this, and units typically run up 1 floor at a time, but they could have different effects. The damage down here in the bottom of each unit shows how much damage they'll do on this turn, and then their health right next to it shows how much health they carry over from encounter to encounter. If you noticed, we did a little bit of damage in the beginning there, and then this guy ran up to the top, and then this loot fairy popped up. And so what the loot fairy does, extinguish, triggers on death, gains 50 gold, which means we gain 50 gold, and then if we let it get away, it resolves, triggers after combat, flees from battle if not rooted or dazed. So I would like to kill this guy if possible. It's not necessary, but it is a nice little infusion of 50 gold right off the bat. And then I also can just try to kind of figure out what I want to do with all of these other units. So whenever you play cards, machine cards or unit cards will appear on the deck as our champion did, but not in our discard pile. So they don't go back into our hand after a few shuffles. These spells will go into our discard pile, so as you can see by the restores and the torches, and then we'll be able to get those back in the next round, or once our draw pile shuffles. If you're familiar with deck builders, this is all going to look pretty similar, Slay the Spire-esque. I think there's a few different things. So for example, floor capacity, and then your monsters are going to be incredibly valuable because once they die, they don't come back. Now there are different modifiers that change the way all of these things work, and then for example, different units have different effects. As you can see by these little purple symbols, the game does a pretty good job of showing you clearly like what is going to happen on each turn. And one of the most interesting things one of the features I really appreciate is this right here. If you see my mouse cursor, the -6, the -10, and the X, that shows kind of what the outcome of this turn will be if nothing is done. So if I play this guy, that will all change. So currently -6, this disciple, the enemy attacks first unless otherwise stated. The enemy's going to do 2 damage to us, and because we have 10 thorns, spikes deal 10 damage to any unit that attacks you, we'll deal 10 damage to him, and then this guy will attack, and he will die because he only has 1 health, so he's going to kill himself, and then we are going to take 6 damage as a result of their attacks. I would like to not take 6 damage, and I would also like to kill this loot fairy. That is kind of my objective of this first round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the trained steward up here, and he's going to attack this collector. I'm not really worried about him yet. He doesn't have any damage, so I'm not really worried about him for the time being. He's not really worth my resources. And I'm going to kill this guy, the support unit, to lower the amount of damage done to my champion. And now also I'm going to put a trained steward behind to kind of allow this champion to take some damage because he doesn't have an attack. He only has, or he, I'm not certain, only has the spikes. And so our trained steward's going to be our main force of attack. And if you notice, this upgraded from 10 to 15 to show the difference. I'm now out of Ember. I've played as many cards as I possibly can on this round, and so I will end my turn. But I'm not forced to end my turn. There are, you are able to kind of peck around and click and look at your deck and count different things and, you know, etc., etc. You're not forced to end your turn. So this person, I probably should have shown the fight, but basically all of this went down, and then the disciple moved up to the next floor, and then this protector moved up to the next floor after that. I'm unable to kill him. This trained steward doesn't have enough damage, but what I would like to do is kind of set up on the second floor so that you at least take some damage. So 1, 2, and then I don't have any mana to do anything else. This protector is going to go up to the spire, and we'll be able to kind of see what that looks like. Or not the spire, sorry, rather the pyre. That's going to be, yeah, so our pyre does damage. It acts as a normal monster, although the difference being that 80 damage whenever the pyre is down to 0 and the health carries over, we lose, essentially. So that's less preferable to have units go up there. But I let that guy go because he didn't have any attack, and so our pyre just shredded him. I'm not worried about this disciple. We're going to take 2 damage, but we're going to do enough to kill you. That's what the X represents. What we're really worried about is this boss. So chains decided. Relentless. Combat in this room continues until all enemies are defeated. This unit cannot be rooted. Triggers after combat. It adds a weight of contrition card to the top of your draw pile. And then right below it shows what that card is. So essentially the boss units in this game all have Relentless, and what Relentless does is it makes it so that every single attack occurs before you can play any more cards. So I basically get one hand, all the attacks are resolved, and then we move on to the next floor. We're not going to see what that looks like in this situation because fortunately or unfortunately, depending on what you want to see, we are going to kill him with our spikes. So I'm going to just kind of play this out as if I wasn't going to kill them. So I would like to do some damage to you. And then I don't have any mana left to spin, or any ember left to spin rather, so I'm just going to wait, then we'll end the turn. So the first floor resolves, the middle floor resolves, and then the bottom floor resolves. And now they're just going to go back and forth at each other until that happens. The boss died, so good job there. We knocked out that first floor pretty easily, and now we get a chance to really look at our other stuff. And I should keep in mind that we have an extra upgrade slot on spells. So spells are good for us, which all of these are spells. We're going to see what might be most relevant to our current build. Consume, apply regen 5. This restores health to a friendly unit and then damages whatever's in front of it. I'm not really worried about that right now. And then Steel Enhancer, modify a card, so it basically boosts up one guy. I'm going to grab Steel Enhancer. I also think that I will take Fortify, because I think Fortify on our tank unit in front is rather good. We don't really have enough cards in our deck yet to know how we're going to go. We do know that Forging Spells to gain powers is good though, because we have so many extra spell slots. We're going to upgrade. So I would like to do a couple of things here. Ooh, double stack's new, actually. Status effects are doubled. Interesting. Okay. 20 plus magic power and consume, or upgrade a spell to be free. So a free boost to this seems rather good. So I'm going to do that and make that card free. I'm also going to make it happen twice. Oh, because it doesn't, these don't count as status effects. Okay, so we actually can't do that. So my master plan isn't gonna work. I am going to upgrade it. Not eligible. Okay, well, never mind. I'm not gonna do any of the things that I thought I was going to do. I am going to purge. So as a common with a lot of these deck building games, you want to pull out cards that you think are low value. These torches, for example, that you start with, these train stewards that you start with are kind of meh. So I'm going to pull out 2 cards, and then I think I'm just going to wait. I would use this on a torch or a restore, but not terribly worried about it. I don't think that pumping money into any of these cards is that great just yet. So we're going to leave and then move on to the next round. And that previous screen probably looked pretty familiar if you are used to Slay the Spire. We are going to take, I think I am going to take this Mark of Invasion because we're going to get 75 coins out of it. And what that does is allow you to scale really quickly. At the start of battle, enemies appear on each floor, so I think we're going to get 1 guy on each floor. Yeah. Okay, that was a lot more than I expected. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 20. So we have a lot of damage here to overcome if we want to mess with all these guys. And I don't think that I want to, because anything I put on this floor is pretty much just going to get obliterated. These enemies have some sort of effect. They have rage, which decreases every turn. So they're going to be scaling downwards. The more I leave them alone, or the next floor they go up to, they're just going to take more and more hits to their damage. They're going to do less damage over time. And then this unit restores 5 health to a friendly unit after combat. So you're going to restore this guy. And this guy's special effect is that whenever I cast a spell on this floor, he gains 1 attack. So I would like to cast as few spells as possible when on this floor. I'm going to play the Sentient, or I'm going to play my champion. And then I think I'm going to take out one of these units so that our pyre takes as little damage as possible. We are going to take pyre damage here. There's really nothing I can do to stop these guys, but I'm not super worried about it because they're going to do so little, and it's really early yet, so I'm not terribly worried. And we're going to get 75 gold from just spawning them. So all in all, not a big deal. I don't want to restore anyone on this floor. I could play the train steward, but he would die immediately because they would do 5, 10, 15, 20 damage. So playing him on this floor would just be kind of a waste. So I'm going to end my turn. And they all lose 1 rage, and then they all move up to the next floor. Exactly. And then our pyre attacks. And so when our pyre attacks, it's going to attack all enemies in the room at the same time, which is nice for these enemies because they're each going to lose a stack of rage, run up there, all attack, and then the pyre's going to take them out. I would like to kill this loot fairy. I'd actually like to do a lot of things here. Because I don't have any more units, this is going to be a problem. So we're going to take out you. We're going to take out you. And then I think I'm going to enhance this guy and restore... Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that because these spells are just supercharging him. We're going to let this go. He's going to die from the spikes. These units are all going to get my pyre and then die. And then now we have a 15 health, 4 damage apprentice to deal with. He will die in 1 hit to this pyre, I need to stop saying Spire. But I would like to try to kill him. If I put a train steward up there, they only deal 5 damage, so I'm not going to kill him. So I think what I'm going to do is put him here. And we're going to try to cut off this guy instead of worrying about the other apprentice. I'm going to give armor to our tanky unit so that he can get more spikes procs out. And then we're going to torch this unit. And we'll end turn. And they will do their fight. This guy will go up top. And then next round. Now we have our next boss. So our next boss has spikes. Spikes 2, deal 2 damage to any unit that attacks this one. The current preview shows that we will kill this unit. Our train steward will probably die on his spikes, but that's fine, because as long as we kill the boss, that's really all that matters. So we're going to give you armor, we're going to torch your support unit, and then we're going to give you some restore, give you some more restore. And then honestly, that's all she wrote. We're just going to let this play out. He's going to run up top, but I don't think it matters, because I think this is the fight that is really important here. So we're going to watch these guys duke it out. And victory. Very cool. So second floor is over. And here's our 75 gold, the spoils that we got from taking that trial earlier. All right, so some new cards. I would like to have this sharpen to be able to apply spikes. I would also kind of like Glimmer. I think Glimmer's pretty good. As far as saving money, I think Glimmer, or not saving money, using cards most efficiently, I think Glimmer is really, really effective. Welder Helper would be good with our tanky units, or our champion rather. And so we're gonna get a picture of a little bit of the imps. And so if you're wondering why I'm getting units that look like they're the demons, and then I'm also getting units that are like the overgrown health style, that's because we have this primary clan, allied clan. There are several different types of clans in the game, so I'm assuming that you're going to be able to mix and match and kind of do some weird wonky combos. I would like to duplicate. I don't necessarily need the pyre health. I really need to start scaling. So I want to go get a unit. And I think I would like to get... Oh, so this guy's a lot of health, but then he sweeps. He attacks all enemy units. And then this guy... So I gain a mana every time he is damaged. Interesting. Okay. Sorry about the phone there. That's going to be really nice for building up a lot of mana, but I don't really know that I need that. This Husk Hermit might be good for kind of like clearing out those low-level enemies. We're going to grab this. When you play the third card of the turn, draw 2. So I might have done this incorrectly. It would have been nice to have had this card mixed with the extra mana champion, or the extra mana monster. Infused Mallet is going to give us 5 damage when an enemy unit enters the terrain, or 25% chance to do that, which might knock out some of those smaller support units. So we already kind of have knock out smaller support units with Ascension. We also kind of have that with Sweep. So I think getting some extra card draw on the deck is good. And then we're going to hit these Concealed Caverns, which is our first like truly random event. Okay, so Penance Yard comes into view, a truly terrible sight. Dead Hellborn from across the 9 rings of hell are strung up as atonement, just for existing. At the base of these also contraptions are some familiar blights, but peeking through, you can see something of value underneath the rubble. Which pile do you inspect from? The one with the Ember. We gained Ember Stasis, which is an artifact that allows us to play a blight card, deals 100 damage to the front enemy unit, and then it removed from our deck. When summoned, friendly units get +1 for every blight card in your deck. Interesting. So these two would actually combo nicely together, but we're only going to get the one. Or the Broken Shards. When you play your first blight card each turn, restore 5 pyre health. So Vengeful Shard, basically it makes us take 1 damage, but then it's going to heal 4, because it's going to heal the extra 5. So, I don't know which is best. This is basically 3 get out of jail cards, but they cost 3 Ember, which seems like a lot. This seems fine, but I don't really want to add blight cards. So this is really just giving every single unit I have +1 damage. And then this seems to be really good for curing our health on our pyre, which is not really that important now, but might be important later. I think this is the best. The raw 1 damage to every single unit, especially if we get some like multi-hit units in here where that can really build up a little bit higher. None of those seem particularly amazing unless I'm doing some sort of overlooking something a little bit. But that's also the first time I've seen that, so that's totally new. Plating Seal. Constructed explosives, enter with damage shield. Alright, so this is annoying. Daedalus is a boss that can fly, and so he will fly between the 3 different floors, but that also means that he stands here on the right, so we can actually do damage to him if we can make it through all these different units, which it doesn't look like we're going to do. Right now, anyway. So we're going to play our champion. This is his special, this is Daedalus' special thing, I guess. He constructs these explosives that can take 2 hits, and so 1 is the damage shield and the 1 is its 1 HP, and if it doesn't die on the turn, it'll despawn and deal 10 damage to the enemy unit. We would like that to not happen. And so the little exclamation point here says that basically it's going to do something. We would like to kill him if possible. So I would really like to play like a fireball card or something that'll get us out of jail here. But I don't think I'm going to get anything. I would like to enhance you. So we did get some cards that would help us. A fireball would have been, or a torch would have been really nice there. But it looks like we're just not going to get it. So I can heal. I also could give our unit some armor, which I think I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to play restore just to give you one restore. And then I'm going to end. Nothing too great there. This guy sweeping is nice. This Husk Hermit sweeping is nice because he kind of deals damage to all the small units. Glimmer. So if we use Glimmer, we're going to take out his shield. And then if we use Torch, we're going to take out the unit itself. Now we did buff up this guy a little bit, but I think it's worth it because otherwise we would have been taking 10 damage. And then instead of buffing you up further, we're going to put a Trained Steward up there. And now we drew a couple more cards, but it doesn't really matter. I'm now seeing that Wing Steel might not be the best. It gives us card draw, but a lot of times to play 3 cards in a turn, we're using 3 mana. So I think Wing Steel really benefits from having a lot of mana, which we just don't have yet. So I'm going to fortify you. I'm going to torch you, and just get that out of there. And then it looks like he's going to die anyway, so I'm going to put another Trained Steward there. And now because there are no enemies in this row, they're going to do 16 damage to Daedalus, which is a little bit of like a advanced damage or fight damage on the boss, which is always nice. And now we have these 2 deadweight cards in our hands, which we would like to purge these out at some point, but it says unpurgeable. Well, never mind. So we're always going to have these 2 deadweight cards. If I had known that this guy gives us 2, I don't know that I would have taken it. Well, actually it scales with blight cards, so maybe that's fine. I guess we get 3. Okay, so we have 3 of them now. Yeah, we have 3 of them. Okay, so every single one of our units is getting +3 attack, which is fine. That makes it a little bit more understandable. I wanted to do that to take out that archer. Now I can play a unit here, but if I do that, all I'm really doing is opening myself up to dying from this constructed explosive. I would have to play both of the cards. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to play both of these guys. And so now they should both attack. That should be fine. That is not the case. So it triggered on his turn, not my turn, not at the end. So he exploded before my guy even got the chance to attack. So that was a bit of a misplay, but that's fine. I would like to torch you. I wish I could torch you another way. Maybe if I play a 3rd card, I'll get a torch. I did get a torch. Look at that. Yeah, so we're gonna lose 5 HP here, but it's fine. He's tanky enough to deal with it. Whatever happens up there happens. I didn't really have that many tools to address it. Okay, and so now he has made it all the way up to the top, but he's gonna die this turn, so I'm not really worried about him. Daedalus is in the room now, so now he's relentless, and so anything I play here is going to affect kind of the back and forth that keeps going. So I'm going to armor up. I'm going to heal you a little bit. So if you notice, all of the things that I'm doing are changing how much damage the boss is going to take in real time. I'm also going to do it again, and then I'm going to... I don't know if it's better to heal or to give one more regen. I'm going to do this. Okay, so he's not going to die, but he is going to be very close. So we're going to end the turn, and I think it'll be fine. Also, if you notice, I have it fast forwarded ×3. That's from when I was playing earlier. I think you can actually fast forward and then hold the right mouse button, and it makes things just go like ludicrous speed. We're gonna go with 2. All right, so how do I want to kill you? What's the most interesting way to kill you? Let's go for humiliation. We're gonna make a Trained Steward kill you. Here you go, dude. How's that feel? Taken out by a robot with fire for brains. Alright, and now we got some new cards. Consume, apply quick. I do like Wildwood Tome. That's pretty interesting. And also we're going to be able to give it an extra upgrade slot. I do like Channel Song. Oh, I think I like Channel Song much more, especially because we're going to be able to upgrade it quite a few times. And because playing cards over and over again is going to help our wing steal. I don't have that many imp units in the deck, so I'm not going to build an imp deck, so I'm not really worried about that one. I think Animus of Will is a good combo with our Penitent Remains because it's going to be building. So this multi-strike basically means it attacks 3 times, and since we're giving it strength with this this artifact, it's going to be much stronger. I would also like to get more Ember because that will help us trigger our card draw more often. So if you're kind of familiar with this game or just like dipping your toes in the water, I think one thing that this game does really well is lets you have an immediate impact on your deck. Ooh, I would like that. I would like that. But spells, though, let's go this way. I want to upgrade spells. I think we're really going for a spell heavy build. One of the things this game lets you do, as I was saying, is really has an impact on what sorts of decisions you get to make with your deck, and it lets you do it very, very quickly, I think. Emberstone, upgrade a spell to cost -1. I do think that's good. Any extra... Ooh. I like that quite a bit. I also like putting it on Glimmer. And then upgrading the magic. I think we're gonna... Oh man, this is complicated. Or not complicated, but I don't really know. I think Channel Song being free is better than Glimmer being free. And we're going to upgrade this. Oh, we can't upgrade Channel Song. We're going to upgrade Glimmer to make it much more efficient. Which is perfect, because now it heals and damages for more. What does double stack do? Upgrade a spell to gain double stack. Oh, so it applies double the effects. So does that make this have 4 health? No, it makes it have regen 2, which is not really worth it on Restore, but could be worth it on Fortify. I don't think I want to mess with that. I don't think for 85 gold that's really worth it. It's really just playing Fortify twice. I could reroll, and I'm going to reroll, rather. When played, this card is placed on top of your draw pile next turn. If I could do this with Glimmer... yes. If I could upgrade you, and then make you cost nothing. So now, every single turn, I'm going to have 12 and 12. That's fantastic. I don't really want to upgrade these guys, even though they're the basic spells. I'm actually going to take one of the torches out of my deck. I'm going to pay 100 to take it out of the deck. I could pay... Well, I can't. I don't have enough money. I could pay to upgrade one of them and then just make it more efficient. But I really want to... Because I'm building this like card draw-esque deck, I really want to cut down on the amount of like torches and restores that I have. Alright, so now we'll upgrade our champion. And that's one of the ways that this game kind of like force scales you, allows you to scale. Ooh, drawing 1 is nice, especially with our extra mana. We're going to be drawing quite a few cards this way. Man, I really regret not taking the mana tree ally a little bit earlier. We also could go Spikes 20, which is really going to help our damage output because he's going to have 60 health. I think we might do that. I think we're going to do Spikes 20, and then we're going to leave the card draw up to the artifact. Yeah, I think so. I think that's fine. Non-boss enemy units gain +6 damage, but you gain 150 coins. So we're going to take this. We're going to take this trial. We're going to go risky for the first run, or first real run, I guess. I just kind of see what we can get. So we have this trial run on us. Everybody has 6 damage, which makes you really deadly. We want to get rid of you ASAP. We're going to give... Oh, we're not going to kill him. We're going to give that to you. They're all hasted, which means they're going to move directly from the first floor to the third floor. So they're all just going to hop right up there. And I want to get rid of all of these guys as quickly as possible. Because I have spikes, all 3 of the, or both of these units are going to die anyway this turn, which is nice, but could be better. So you do 30 damage, and you do... What is it? Because we get the +3, so you get 6 times 3, so you're going to do 18 damage. So I'm actually going to put Horned Warrior down here, and then I'm gonna Welder Helper you. As Northern Lion said, that's my favorite Beatles song. Balder Helper. That's perfect. Okay, so I don't want to take 12 damage. I'm okay with you dying against my spikes. And then I'm gonna put the Animus up here just to play it. And then I think I'm going to enhance this guy. Which one matters more? Neither of them, really, right? Let's make you hit harder. Then we'll end our turn. All right, so we have a pretty good style. Sometimes I think the game turns into put big beefy unit and then put small attacky unit after it all too often. But that's fine. So case in point, I think that things are going to get much more different once we get to some of the later levels. Yeah, so this Glimmer card is going to be fantastic for us now. He's going to die no matter what because he doesn't do any damage, and so everybody's going to attack him. So we're just going to use Glimmer here. Got our dead weights, which is fine because we're not going to be able to play him anyway. We got our money. Thank you, Mr. Loot Fairy. And then this boy is hitting pretty hard. It'd be nice if he was a scaling ally, but he doesn't really have anything that like lets him scale off of these kills, which is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. We are going to keep him nice and healthy by playing this Glimmer every turn, which is fantastic. And then we're also going to, I guess we're going to play a Train Steward. We might as well, right? And we're just going to chill. There's not much to do besides just sit and watch the chaos. This level's going to play itself, which is fantastic. Okay, so our channel song is going to upgrade one of our units, which looks like it'll upgrade a Train Steward. So we're just going to go ahead and play that. There's not like a special unit we want to get out of that. We're going to put you up there. And then we're going to just do our opener. We're going to armor you up. We're going to deal 2 damage to the more heavy unit. I think I'm going to restore you as well. We're going to end our turn. So this is playing pretty nicely. I really enjoy the potential of this game. One of the things about the roguelike genre that I personally just love is the ability for every run to be a little bit different, you know, I'm gonna just kind of fly through this. Actually, I should have put that on this guy, but we're not gonna talk about it. The ability for every run to be a little bit different, and for every run to have a little bit different personality, and you know, new synergies, and kind of like unlock different things, and really develop a mastery. That's one of the things I like, and I think this game is definitely going to have that. So looking at the current floor, Slay triggers after dealing a killing blow, which it looks like he's not going to deal any killing blows. Add a self-mutilation card to the top of your draw pile, and that card would cost 1 mana and then make our Pyre take 5 damage. We aren't going to have to worry about any of that because as this X shows, we're pretty much set. So we're just going to run through our hand and then end the turn, and we're going to let this play out. And I'm holding right click. I noticed the little game speed actually turned into a like a little frowny face, a little surprise face. 150 gold to the victor go the spoils. Restore 25 health. Draw 2 next turn. Seems interesting. Seems fine. Sting spells are 5 damage to the front enemy unit. Draw 1 the next turn. I don't really want to slow the deck down any, but if I keep playing 0 card spells, so like what these stings are going to be, we're just going to keep drawing new cards. So this is actually really good. It kind of synergizes nicely with our draw. I think even more so than Focus Growth does. Yeah, and because this costs 1 mana and it consumes, I don't really want it. So I'm okay with Preserve Thorns. Rage Serum, consume, apply Rage 3, piercing, deal 5 damage by over 20. I don't know that any of these cards are particularly fantastic for what we're trying to do here. We don't have much damage as far as like raw damage output goes, but we do have quite a bit of damage with the spikes and building up some of our tanky units. I'm gonna go this way, and we're gonna purge out a Restore, and we're gonna purge out a Torch. So now we're down to some of the weaker cards are really out of our deck. I would like to purge these Train Stewards as well, but for right now, they're fine. We don't really have that many units to replace them with. We haven't really been given units unit cards or chances to get unit cards. Upgrading a spell with 10 magic power seems fine, but we only can do it to our not interesting cards that I would really like to get rid of. Yeah, so upgrading a spell to have holdover. The only one of these that I can do this to is maybe Steel Enhancer. Enhance a unit with +3 and +3. That could be interesting. It basically means that every single turn we're just going to be scaling one unit over and over and over again. I like that. I think holdover scales really nicely with Wing Steel. So I think we're in a good spot. I'm going to purge another torch. No, I'm going to purge a trained steward. And then we're going to leave. So what we're looking for now is high damage cards that can sit behind our tanks. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. That could be the end of us, because combat in this room. So these are the 3 units we're going to find on this floor. This is the boss. This guy loses a stack of stealth, so we really have to kill him with like spells and whatnot. And then the overcharged tank gains a little bit of armor whenever a unit dies. I don't think we want to take this, even though it gives the artifact, because with these 2 units combined, we're going to have kind of a hard time. Our deck isn't really set up to attack those. So I think this is going to be a bit of a tougher one for us. I would like that. I would also like to put my multi-strike unit here, I think, because I think it's going to scale pretty highly. I'm going to keep building him up with that scaling card that we're going to get back. And then I'm going to put my Husk Hermit, say that 10 times fast, and the Horned Warrior up here. And then we're going to set up nicely by killing him. So this card draw is fantastic. We're going to get a lot of value out of that. Okay. Sorry, I'm putting in a sushi order. My girlfriend's ordering sushi. Loot Fairy. And this guy just carrying a door around. It's not a shield, it's just a door. He just wanted to take it with him, you know? Just want to make sure he had it on him at all times. Loot Fairy's taken care of. We don't need to worry about you. Armor, we can armor up. Hardvuk pays off. And then we'll throw a trained steward up there. Do we have any better units? We really don't. So trained steward, have at it. Go knock yourself out. All right, so this is where things are going to get bonkers, because every single time we use that card on him, we're going to get it back into our deck. That's going to scale up really nicely, and it does 3 times the effect because this guy hits thrice. I just used the word thrice in a sentence. What is this world turning to? All right, so I guess I could play trained steward up here. We're just going to chill. I think we've got something going. This looks really good. The more I think about what we've got, the more I think about how nicely this is going to kind of work out. So we're going to use our stings, sting. We're going to hold over you, or not hold over, rather. We're going to consume and get a pretty beefy trained steward. I don't really have any place to put him, so that was a little bit of a misplay, but not that big of a deal. And then we're going to welder helper you, just to give you some extra armor. And then I guess we'll tank the big guy, but it doesn't really matter, right? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. He's gonna die anyway, so let's just give you some restore so that you heal back one of those at the end of the turn. Oh, that's good. Very good. Okay, so we'll sting you. We will buff, and then we will sting, and then we will glimmer. This is fantastic. And we're gonna torch, and we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that, we can't do that. In turn. Alright, so our Animus of Will currently is doing 45 damage a turn. Make that whatever 18 times 3 is. He's gonna be doing 54 damage per turn. And then I guess we could just Glimmer, just so that we get it back in our hand next turn, because it has holdover as well. I think holdover is fantastic, by the way. I've never really used that. We're gonna fortify up. We're gonna give you some regen. And so regen, if you notice, restores 4 health at the end of the turn, and then it decreases. So it's best to give as much regen as possible so that it sticks around a little bit longer and so that it's more effective. So you really want to stack regen on one unit instead of giving like 1 regen to 5 units, for example. And I could use this torch just for giggles. No, you can't. You can't actually hit nothing with it. So, end of turn. Alright, and I am willing to bet that they don't stand a chance. So we're gonna sting. We're gonna sting. We'll glimmer to get rid of the small guys. We're gonna hold over you. Sting. Torch. Ah, we didn't get more card draw. We didn't get it right now. So, in hindsight, it looks like Winged Steel is not going to let us do like infinite drawing. We maybe need to find other methods of card draw. There was the ability that would upgrade our sentient that would give us some card draw, but we don't have that. So now we have dead weight. So as much damage as we're going to do on this turn, we're not going to kill the Crystal Cloak, which is fine, but not quite what I was expecting. And we end the turn with a bunch of Ember. So if we get another upgrade, we really want to get more card draw or more card draw in our hand because we're not using all of our Ember every turn. So we're just going to let this play out. I'm going to smiley face it. All right, and we have all these cards, but we're really only going to use like 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. So we're not even going to use all of these. Yeah, and we drew our 2 dead weights, so not a big deal. We're going to enhance. Let's see. So 12 is 1 attack. That's going to do 2 is 24. 3 is 36. If I give you some restore, you might survive 1 extra round, which will bring us in line to kill. Very cool. All right, so we got it now. And we're gonna let this play out. And there it is. Horn Warrior. All right, collect and go. Restore 30 health, apply Regen 4, apply Rooted 1, or give some spikes to a unit. So card draw, again, would be fantastic for us. Rooted is going to keep a unit on a certain floor, which I think is okay. There's some value in having a little bit of manipulation. I think none of these really apply to what we're doing. We don't consume that many cards. We do consume Channel Song, but we don't have big enough units yet to kind of make it worth it. And I don't really care about giving someone armor 10, especially now for 1 mana, whenever we have 0 mana of armor 5. And then piercing, deal 100 damage to friendly enemy units. For 3 mana, this doesn't seem worth it, so I think I'm actually going to skip. Yeah, it's interesting, piercing is, but I don't know that it fits into this deck. Artifacts versus unit upgrades. I would like to get an artifact. This Concealed Caverns are usually pretty strong. I have a lot of money, so we could buy a couple different artifacts. That might help this run really get moving. But I think upgrading our units is going to be the most valuable part here. So contrary to this being strong, I really want this Pyre upgrade. I would like to get this something good in this cavern. Maybe something that lets us duplicate a card, or maybe something that gives us like permanent card draw. We'll find out. So the Historian, our first like NPC character, our first shopkeeper character. Roguelikes love to do this, love to give us like shop characters, you know, that are just like return characters, you know. Enter the Gungeon especially, it was one that was big on that. Slay the Spire has a few of them. So we can take the Gift of Gratitude, which removes itself from the deck, but gives us 30 gold per mana. We can gain 1 attack for every 10 gold that we have, which is not fantastic, because we don't want our Pyre hitting people anyway. And our Pyre doesn't have quick, so we really just don't want that. And then Petty Theft. Deal 2 damage to an enemy unit, but if you kill them, you gain 50. So it lets us scale a little bit by killing out these small units. I don't know if this is worth it. I think the slowdown, it's essentially a better torch, right? It's essentially a torch that's going to give us 50 gold. I think Stealthy is the best of the 3, and because we had to take one, I'll take it. If anyone knows kind of like the power creep of these cards, and one of those is, you know, much better or something, tell me. Please let me know in the comments. Thornstone, upgrade a unit with spikes +4. Ah, so the Speed Stone, that's what I was really hoping for. So if we can give speed to our Animus is going to get out in front of a lot of these attacks. I love quick. I think there's a lot of value to quick. Upgrading him with plus 10 is also going to be fantastic. Upgrading you with plus 10 is going to be good because he's going to be dealing it to every single unit in the area. I think that's actually the best way to, because we want to be using our card upgrade, we want to be using the steel enhancer on the Animus instead of using it on anybody else because it's kind of the most value there. So upgrading him to kind of make him an off damage is pretty nice. I'm also going to give spikes to you. No, I don't need to give spikes to anybody. We're just gonna reroll. Upgrade a unit with endless. When this unit dies, return the card to the top of the draw pile. So this is fantastic because it means that whenever a unit dies, we don't have to worry about it dying anymore. It would work really nicely with some imps, I think, because they're so low cost and they can kind of just fit anywhere that you can just like kind of over and over reuse some imps, endless imps. We don't have that, but I would like to keep my Animus of Will around as much as possible because it's just so good and because it's quick. So it's always going to get an attack off. It's guaranteed at least one attack. So I think those two merge really nicely. Heartstone could go well with the Horned Warrior to bring him up to tank level since he's pretty weak right now. I think that's a good thing to do, just kind of a secondary. And then I'm really not worried about the 4 spikes. I don't think that we're going to get enough value out of them to be worth the money and the upgrade slot, to be completely honest. So I'm just going to fire ahead and we'll see what we're doing. We really just hit a pretty big power spike. I think that was a lot of damage or a lot of upgrade for such a small amount of time. Fell, the Wings of Light. This equipped warrior has become winged once more, creating statues in her former image to block your assault. All right, very cool. So we're getting a little bit of lore there. And I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I think the theme of like going to restore hell frozen over is it's kind of cool. You know, it's a little like quirky. It's kind of a unique take on the genre, I think. All right, so we're gonna throw our Sentient there. I don't think there's any reason not to put him on the first floor. And also, I would like to play 3 cards just so that I can maybe get something to kill this marksman. I would love to put the Animus behind you, so I really don't want to put you there. We're going to put the sweep unit there. I think, how big's the Animus? Animus is 2. So each of these units takes up a different amount of capacity, right? So the Animus is 2, and then smaller cards like these imps. Where was my imp? Imps right here. Only takes up 1. So if I play an imp here, I'm still going to be able to play an Animus on this floor. Or a Train Steward, which I don't want to do that, but I could. I could if I wanted to. I would like this second floor to be Horned Warrior and Husk Hermit. So I guess I'm going to play this Train Steward up here. Oh, that was a bad idea, because Fell, apparently, is enraging these Guardians to deal 6 damage, and that's just going to kill a Train Steward. So that was a bit of a waste of a Train Steward, but that's kind of fine. We just going to give you the regen just to give it to you. Yeah, so he died immediately. Not the best move there, but that's fine. I don't think that by losing a Train Steward early, we're really going to be in a bad spot. So I would like to use this just to get the cards in my hand and kind of start our turn off. I definitely will be playing Animus of Will here. Horned Warrior will be going to the back. Petty Theft. So I can get 2 gold. That's perfect because I wanted to kill him anyway and I got 50 gold out of it. So very cool. We got some money. Glimmer, we can sting you, we can sting you, we can sting you. Wow, he is really buffed up now, 10 times 2, because I guess he gave rage to him twice. So we're gonna let you cool down a little bit before we put an enemy up there. Let's use that to hold over, and then let's start doing these stings. So I would like a card that's Slay the Spire-esque, that was basically like for every 3 cards, you know, like Paper Cut or something like that. For every 3 cards, you know, played, like gain some extra damage. But I don't have anything like that in my hand. So, and I haven't seen too many of the artifacts because I think the demo is pretty limited. But now that we're running the full game, I'm very interested to see what sorts of crazy combos this game allows you to have. And I know that I keep mentioning the demo instead of the beta. It's a bit of a sticking point. I passed on this game, definitely shouldn't have. When I saw it in the Steam store and I saw that there was a demo for, or a beta for it, I was like, okay, that's great. This game's great. But I didn't act on it in time. I'm going to root you to keep you down here so that I can hurt you more next turn. Oh, I should have rooted this guy. Dang it. I wasn't thinking about how much damage these people would do. So let's try to get you down to... Yeah, let's go grab our beefy train steward. I'm gonna put you there. Then we're gonna deal damage to you, deal damage to you. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway, as I was saying, I passed on this game mistakenly, I might add. I saw the beta pop up on Steam. It was like one of those games that you might like, you know, suggested similar friends, like, you know, creator suggested whatever. And I just didn't pay it any attention. I was so sucked into One Step from Eden that I wasn't interested in this. And I will admit that I was wrong. This game seems pretty good. Seems like it's got a lot going on. So we're gonna heal up. We're gonna try to keep this train steward alive. I would like to at least hurt this clipped reflector, which I don't think I'm gonna be doing. He has so much rage. Oh, I don't want to cast this up here. So we're gonna do this. I've been a little absent-minded in the last few seconds, so bear with me. I probably should have healed my Husk Hermit, but instead I will hurt. No, hurting you doesn't make any sense, because he's going to attack, and he's going to die no matter what. So I guess I'm going to hurt you? I guess I'm going to hurt you? I don't really know. I don't know what the best thing to do with this is. I don't want to give him 10 more armor, so I'm going to do that. And then I guess we'll just deal 2 damage, and then we'll end our turn. So at its worst, Petty Thief is just a torch. If we could upgrade it, that would be preferable, but for now, we're just going to have to deal with it being a bad torch. Just because it's in our deck, and I think there's a lot of value to be gained from it. We're going to get some Glimmer going so we can heal up this guy. We're going to Sting. I would like to draw 1 the next turn, so I'm okay with rooting you. I'm also okay with rooting you, because it doesn't really matter, because this guy's going to die anyway, so we might as well get the value out of being rooted. We're going to heal you. We're going to heal you again. We're going to upgrade our, you know, wherever the upgrade should go, in my opinion. And then, I mean, you're going to die no matter what, right? Yeah, so let's just torch this guy, and then we'll end our turn. I think that was the best use of resources. 15 damage for 3. Oh no! What just happened? How did you die? How did our Animus die? I don't know that I understand, but we got him back. So thank you, Endless. And we're just gonna upgrade him again. And he kept his upgrades. That's fantastic. Super, super good. I feel like that shouldn't be the case, but I'm not gonna be complaining. We're gonna torch, honestly, which is Sting, Fortified, Torch, and then we have a little bit of mana left over, so card draw is good. We need card draw, and we're okay with you healing. This is looking really good. Of all the runs I had in the demo, you really could figure out when you were doing well and when you weren't, and I think we're doing well. I want to give 12 damage to him. I want to give you the restores. You the damage boost. I don't need to heal you. Let's give you some more restores. And then we're just gonna deal 2 damage to the boss. And then we're gonna end our turn. Okay, so let me be free. Alright, and now we're on the final wave. So 484 damage dealt. I'm assuming most of that's gonna come from the Animus, and then also a little bit from the spikes on our Ascension. So literally like anything we can do to buff up our Sentient to make it last a few more turns is going to do better. So 484, let's try to get that number as high as we can. So we're going to do that, and now he's dead. I absolutely love that you can see what's going to be happening. And if you notice, we just squeaked by because he's going to do 18 damage, and then this unit's going to kill him. It's fantastic the way that the game is really UI friendly. You know, there's no obscurity just for the sake of being obscure. So we're gonna restore you and then torch you just for giggles. And we're gonna let this play out. So I'm actually gonna play on ×3 until we get close. Just chaos. And then there it is. Alright, so we got an achievement, Angel Hunter. And we're going to, hey, we're going to collect a new clan. So it's the Stygian Guard. Draft the support of the Ancient Guard of the Stygian Sea. Mystical Sirens and Ancient Totems work together to eradicate the Winged from Hell. Very cool. And it also looks like an evil fizz, if you're familiar with League of Legends. Channel Song would be fine. Channel Songing the Animus would be wonderful. Applying Quick to something would be good as well. I think Quick just has so much value. And then enhancing a unit and applying spikes would be good to our basic, to our champion. So we really can't go wrong here. I think all of these are pretty solid. Do I have a Channel Song already? I do already have a Channel Song, and it's already upgraded, so I'm actually not going to worry about that. I think I might just go for the Quick. Does anything scale with damage? No. Let's take Wild Wit's Home. The other one feels a little bit too expensive for me, to be completely honest. Capacity, we haven't taken the capacity upgrade yet. We also could do the draw 1 every turn. I don't think we need energy. I think capacity actually is going to be the most useful for us, because then we maybe can lay an Animus, another unit, and then our tank on the same floor. And I would like to get either some more units or upgrade the units, so we're going to go this way so that we can upgrade a few of them. Do we want to remove, or let's conceal, and then we'll see what we can remove. We'll see what we can kind of like take out of this deck to optimize it a little bit. Okay, so I do like that we will purge our petty theft, and then we'll get some money. That's kind of interesting. Like, because we have this card, this random encounter is different. And what that really is it's like 3 uses of the petty theft, and we've only gotten 1 good use out of it so far. And now that we're getting further on to the game, enemies are going to have more and more health, and so dealing 2 damage to an enemy unit is going to be less and less valuable. I think that's the best way to do it, actually. Let's just pickpocket them. Oh, and we got an achievement for it. Very cool. So use your pick to avoid any unnecessary damage. The pick broke, but you buyed a whole train full of picks. So now we have 240, or 430 rather, and we're going to be able to upgrade quite a bit. I would like to purge. I think I'm going to purge some of these restores out. We're going to purge a torch, and then we're going to start upgrading units. So let's see how big we can get some of these guys. Large stone, upgrade a unit with +1 capacity, which makes it a little bit harder to play. 15 damage and 40 health. What would you go good on? You would go fantastic on the Husk Hermit, because that would make you massive, make you super tanky, and you sweep. Husk Hermit, you've been promoted. Congratulations, you are now regional manager. We don't really need to purge anything. We could upgrade like a welder helper or something like that, just so that he's not a total waste of space. We could also just straight up give this upgrade to Horned Warrior. He is beefy. He would just be like a really beefy 1-cost unit. I think we're just gonna chill on this one, unless we reroll. Let's reroll. Upgrade a unit with Quick. All right, Horned Warrior, congratulations, you've been promoted. I like Quick way too much. I think Quick has so much value. And then we also have Wildwood Tome, which, whatever. I don't want to talk about it. We probably could have done better there. I don't need to upgrade these. What I really need to get is more units. We're going to upgrade our champion again. Rejuvenate, deal 15 damage to the front enemy unit. So every time we rejuvenate or we heal this unit, we're going to deal damage. So I guess the question now becomes, do we get more damage out of units attacking us, or do we get more damage out of rejuvenating? Well, since we've taken most of the rejuvenates out of this deck, and the only real rejuvenates we have are these 2 restores and the free, where you at, Glimmer, I don't think that's as valuable. So Spike's 40 is fantastic. Let's go with that. Very cool. I'm really excited by this run, especially for the first run of the game. Enemy units enter with 2 spell shield too. I would not like to fight you. I also would like to point out that in the beta, or in the demo, this guy knocked me out literally every single game because of his trample. I beat him 1 time, and because I drew a card that I cheesed pretty hard, so we're gonna try to make this a win. Hopefully this is not the end of this video. So let's see what we get. So the Sentient, it's clockwork. I think Animus always deserves to be here. Just this so strong armor on my main dude. We're gonna take out all 3 of these with the Animus, right? So deal 5 damage to the front enemy unit when it dies. So we're gonna deal 5 damage, deal 5 damage, deal 5 damage, but that's fine. Ideally, I would kill these 3 and then deal as much damage as possible to the Gilded Wing. So let's preserve Thorns. Let's keep you around. I don't want you escaping on me. And we're gonna take out all of these guys. Okay, so now it's just you and me. We're gonna heal up and then end our turn. And if you notice, we had 2 Ember left over. So card draw, again, would be fantastic for us. I think, how much health do you have? You have 5. So even a torch won't kill you. So like, see how torches are kind of like not scaling with the game? Same with Trained Stewards. So we're gonna play a Trained Steward. I'm gonna play, we have 2 spots up here. I could play this guy, which is just gonna make this floor a death chamber. I'm gonna play Husk Hermit. So you have quick and you have quick. Let's play Husk Hermit. If we Channel Song, what are we gonna get? We're gonna get a Trained Steward. So let's Channel Song. Let's get a big old beefy Trained Steward. Yeah. And so we're gonna put you there. And then we're gonna make you quick. No. Let's make the one that sweeps quick. We're always gonna do that, I think. And then this is free as well. Oh, what do you have? Harvest. Trigger when a unit on this floor dies, gain armor 15. So he's gaining a lot of armor from killing those small units, and he's actually gonna gain some more, but at least we're killing this guy. So I'm gonna put, I don't think that's the best move. I'm gonna put quick on you, and then just chill. So we're set up pretty nicely. Even if he makes it through, I think our second floor is almost as good as our first floor. And so that's the part of the game that I haven't really gotten to yet. The second floor in most of my games is just as good as my first floor, kind of like right now. But then I just never have enough units, or I never get far enough into the games to have a good third floor. So I think, you know, the further we go and the more we scale, that's obviously going to change. I don't think it's going to stay that way forever. But as of right now, it's like I haven't gotten far enough along to use all of the things that I've been given. All right, and then we just deal so much damage before he even gets to move. So we've got a cool like 60, 71 damage coming out before the turns even get to start, which is fantastic. Well, Glimmer, we're gonna give him a lot of armor, which I think is fine because we're just gonna be hitting so hard. He's gonna die from the quick. I really want to try to focus my efforts on hurting you. So he's actually healing this turn. Because this unit's going to die, he's going to gain 15 armor. I could enhance, but I don't think it's really going to matter much. It looks like we're pretty much just going to have to let him go. But if he gets up there, he only has 34 health, and he's only going to do 10 damage. So he's going to do 10 damage to the Pyre, and then the Pyre's going to kill him. So we're not worried about him. We're not worried about him. The Darkwing is our main struggle. We're going to kill you. Oh, there we go. Totally cool. We're just going to root you. And you're going to have to deal with the consequences of just chilling. We could Welder Helper this guy instead of Welder Helpering our Husk Hermit. No. Let's Helper you. And I think we have a Trained Steward somewhere. We don't. Alright, we're good. We're done. We have 3 mana. We really need more card draw. Okay. So now we just want to do as much damage as possible to him before he hits the train. This 4 is totally fine. This 4 is totally fine. All's good. So we're going to sting you. We're going to sting you. We're going to glimmer you. Is that going to do anything? I don't think there's anything we can do that'll save you. So that might not have been the best use of cards, but that's fine. We're going to restore. Well, we will just ensnare you again. Welcome to Deja Vu there. Gonna glimmer everything on this floor. Mostly so that I can heal up the Ascension a little bit. We're gonna definitely boost you up. You're just getting nice and fat there in the back row. And then now we just chill. Yeah. Okay, so I think I'm really liking this ensnare card because it's going to allow us to just keep enemies here and then, you know, attack them with spells while we're waiting. So we will glimmer. Yeah, we'll glimmer you. We're trying to knock this guy out. Sting. I wish I would have gotten ensnare, which I didn't. I was hoping that I would play that and then the ensnare would pop up, but it never did. So we'll restore. We could just torch him just for fun. Yeah, we're just gonna torch you. We're gonna give more armor to our main tank. We're gonna upgrade our main damage, and then we're gonna end. So our Animus is doing a healthy amount of damage right now. And we're going to end up doing 745 against this boss without even playing this turn. So this is fantastic. I would like to root you. And apparently you are immune to that. Did that cost mana? It did not, so that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I would like to glimmer, and now he's dead. We're gonna sting, we're gonna sting, we're gonna sting, enhance. You guys know the drill by now. Play all the cards in our hand and still have some ember. And so we're just gonna let this run through. And I am gonna slow down because I want to savor this moment. Yeah, never beat him in the demo. Or only did the one time, so that felt really good. So we're doing pretty well. We're getting pretty strong. Restore 1 health, gain 1, draw 1 next turn. That seems good. And we're going to be drawing more. I don't really care about the Ember, I really care about the draw 1. I think restore 1 health would be better if it was on the, if we had like the on rejuvenation deal 10 damage for our champion, for our primary champion. Descend a unit and restore 10 health. And we can do that to enemies as well. That's interesting. Restore 30 health. We're not really worried about health, and I also don't think it's worth all that money. Ingraft is probably the only one here I would take because it's kind of a cantrip. It replaces itself just in the next turn. Not worried about armor, not worried about this, and I don't want to sacrifice any imps because I don't want to have to build around them. So I think we're doing fine. I really need some units, man. Just give me a unit. Okay, we can duplicate cards here. So let's start duplicating. I think duplicating our Animus is the obvious choice, in my opinion. Or we duplicate Steel Enhancer. Or we duplicate Steel Enhancer. No. Is there anything that's going to give us extra card draw? This would. Tricksy. No, I want to duplicate a unit. I don't want to duplicate this guy because he's so large. So I think I'm gonna duplicate my Animus, and I'm just gonna try to have 2 of them on the same floor. No. Hang with me here. This guy isn't very good when I can't upgrade him. So having 2 Animuses and only 1 upgrade is bad. And he's a holdover. Or sorry, endless, so he'll come back to our turn. So I don't think duplicating the Animus is the best decision here. I do think that our Husk Hermit and our Horn Warrior are worth upgrading. I'm going to do a duplicate of the Husk Hermit. And then I guess we'll restore the health. We have to, which is fine. I mean, I'm not complaining. And then we can give someone multi-strike. Yeah, we're full up everywhere else. Everybody's full. Okay, so this is actually kind of worthless. We could purge. It costs so much to purge now, though. I don't want to purge these train stewards just because I don't have that much extra stuff to replace them with. I wish I had more unit cards, which we finally got one. I'm going to purge a restore. And then do I upgrade to make one of these train stewards essentially a horned warrior? Because I could make one 30 damage and no, sorry, like 33 health and 15 damage. That's not that good. Yeah, it's not worth it. Okay, I don't think I need to mess with any of this. I could make one frenzied. I could give one like multi-strike or something. 5x2. One time, yeah. Actually, let's do this. This may be dumb, but let's do that. All right. So now at least our imps do some damage. They're not just totally worthless, or just totally. Oh, I forgot this was here. I shouldn't have spent all my money. No. When you summon the second unit during the turn, gain 3 money, or gain 3, and then 3 magic power. So I think I should have, in hindsight, I should not have upgraded anything, and I should have tried to buy the Tempered Talisman. But at least it's not Tinted Rock. At least it's not the coin play. So Purifying Emblem, Seraph will remove half of any buff and debuff enemy stacks. Is it the final boss? Are we on the final boss? We are. Okay, very cool. This is the furthest I've gotten. So we might actually win this run, or we have a chance. So he removes half of any buff and debuff effect stacks. That's going to be tough because that's really going to take out some of our Animus damage that we've got built up. You're going to be pretty easy to kill. I just have to put a unit up there. So we're going to do our normal setup with this. And then we're going to put you there. And he's going to deal 10 damage. We're going to enforce. So I don't know if the removing buff is going to remove the damage that I've put on him, or if that just counts as like a permanent kind of thing and it doesn't quite count as a buff. We'll find that out here in a second. So I would like the card draw. So we're going to do that. And then I would also just like to apply some restore. And then we'll play the torch, I guess. We'll play it on the front unit. And then we'll just let this play through. So we got some damage on Seraph, which was nice, because he's flying on the second floor like that. So it looks like he puts his units on whatever floor he's flying on. For example, we got the Dark Wings up here. Oh no, never mind. That's a guy from the first floor. Ignore that. Ignore that. I would like to play this guy again on this first floor, and then play the second Husk Hermit up here. And then we can fortify you. We want to keep our champion alive as long as possible. Heal you up. Play you right there. Preserve the Thorns. So you apply Ember Drain 1 to the attacked unit. At the start of your turn, you lose 1 for every stack of Ember Drain. So I don't want Pyrewinks to be able to attack. I need him to die, which it looks like we're going to do 36 plus 33. Yeah, so I want him to die. So I need to just deal as much damage as possible, which we're pretty close. If we could root... If we could do anything different, I think looks like we're gonna have to have Welder Helper buff up some train stewards. If we could just do that, just so that we draw more cards next turn. I don't think we're gonna be able to kill this guy. Yeah, right there. So because he attacked and he did that to everybody, I'm not sure what that's going to look like. None of these guys have that Ember Burn thing, so I guess it didn't stick around. I don't really understand what happened there, but I'm not complaining. Definitely not complaining. So, do I have any more units to draw? I do. So if I draw this, Welder Helper is going to get yoked out of his mind. Channel Song is going to make Welder Helper really big, which is kind of funny. And he's got multi-strikes, so Welder Helper is actually, he's a boss, raid boss. So we're going to upgrade you. We're going to heal everything on this floor, because I want this card to stay alive as long as possible. I'm going to give you some armor. We'll just restore you, or Wow, I did that wrong. I meant to restore him. I thought that was the I thought that was the card that that held him there. That was BM. We're gonna give one of you quick. Let's give the one in the back quick. And then we're gonna play Train Steward, Multi-Strike, Train Steward. And then at least we'll do 84 damage to the boss. And then we'll just end our turn. So that was really nice. This is really nice. And then he's gonna die next turn. Wow, this is sick. This is like a really good combo. Really enjoying the amount of stuff we've got going on here. So I want to keep this guy healthy. So let's Glimmer. I want to make sure this Pyre Wings dies. I want to make sure you don't get to the next floor. You won't get to the next floor. These two units sweep, so they're going to hit Seraph no matter what. So I'm not really worried about him. And I have Quick, so he's dead. No one here has Quick. It's going to do 10 damage to this guy. I would like to kill before, but it doesn't look like I'm going to have the ability to do that. So we're going to play Hold over here. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we'll just kill you. That was max value for that, I think. We'll Sting. Try to make sure you die before you get a chance to attack. Then we'll Torch you. We'll root this guy to keep him around next turn, and then we'll just end. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Okay, super cool. So we are stacking up pretty nicely on our Animus here. This guy's gonna die, and we have Quick, so I'm not worried about anything. Quick really just allows you to like ignore the floor sometimes, and I think that's just super valuable. There's a lot of value in limiting the amount of attention that you have to pay to each like scenario, you know, like keeping it so that your decision-making process is just the most optimal thing every time. I think there's a lot of value in that. So we're gonna restore you up. We're gonna keep you nice and healthy. We're just gonna end that out. Yeah. Okay. So this is looking pretty good. These guys are gonna die. I think we'll just expedite the process a little bit. Don't need to do anything there. We'll steal you. Which actually, now that I look at it, making this unit endless was really not that good because we protect him so much that if he dies, we're in a bad spot anyway. But what it's going to do is give us a chance for when this Relentless turn happens to play the Animus again up here somewhere. Well, not really, because we didn't save any space. So actually, it's worthless. I don't think I should have done Holdover in hindsight. I think maybe the combo needs to be a little bit nicer to do that. I'm going to root you. Let's keep you nice and healthy. And then we can't really do anything with this Train Steward. He's kind of worthless. So we're just going to chill. We're going to let our beefy, our raid boss Imp deal some damage there. We'll Sting you to keep him alive. No. We should let one of these Train Stewards die. And my reason is we need to free up a little bit of floor capacity so that we can play an Animus if this turns into a full attack. But we'll handle that problem whenever we get there. For now, let's keep whichever one of you doesn't die. Let's keep you around. Sting, enhance, restore 1 health, draw a card next turn. Let's keep you around. And then we'll torch you. Then we'll end our turn. Okay, so he's dead. We kept our tank, which means he's not going to be protecting this unit anymore. Okay, so now we're on the Endless. Now we're on Relentless. So it looks like we're going to do 484 damage. He has Multi-Strike. He attacks 3 times each turn, which is going to be a lot. So if we can basically keep this guy alive as long as possible, maybe kill some of these beginner units. There we go. There's the beautiful, beautiful X on the final enemy. I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't just do the full combo. So we're going to do that. We're going to gain a little bit of fire. We're going to keep you around next turn fortify up, give you some extra heals. We're gonna tank you out, and then end our turn. And now we just, now we let all our hard work just kind of play out. And so here we go. And this is definitely not representative of a normal game. I think we definitely, I'm gonna fast forward. These guys screaming is a little much. All right, there we go. Booyah. So first main attack, first main episode 1, introduction, beginner, all that good stuff, and we beat the final boss. Like I said, I don't think that's representative of the full game. I don't think that that's going to be happening every single time, but that's very cool. And so we'll kind of see like what happens here now that we've gotten our first attack. So our train made it to the depths of hell, and it looks like we have reignited the fires of hell. So that was a win on the standard run, and we unlocked the Covenant. I'm not sure what Covenant is. Covenant allows you to opt into a higher challenge level and start mastering cards on victory. Your Covenant rank goes up every time you win a run at your highest unlocked rank. Okay, so this is a little bit like Ascension in Slay the Spire, or Hell mode in One Step from Eden. And so we are more than happy to take that on our first run. And now we're unlocking some of the super basic cards. Gnarled Root grants 1 stack of spikes. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Razor Sharp Edge. Looks like it was buffed a little bit since the demo. And then Priory's Cloak. When a friendly unit is healed, deal damage to the front enemy unit. So this was Monster Train. This was, I think, an above average showing of Monster Train. If you're interested in the content, if you stuck around this long, if you have done yourself the hour and 30 minutes that it took to watch all this way, all the way through, all I ask is you leave a like or comment and let me know what I've done right, what I've done wrong. Let me know if you want to see more Monster Train. I plan on streaming this, or uploading this to my YouTube channel rather, pretty frequently in the next few weeks, just similar to kind of what I've done with Eden. And now that I've cleaned up my audio quite a bit, my workflow is much faster. So we're going to be given a run with the Stygian Guard next time, just to see what they're like and to kind of round out some of the new features in the full game. But for now, that's all I got. Thank you very much for sticking around. This is Monster Train, made by Good Shepherd Games. They have a history with this sort of thing. I think there's going to be a lot of updates to come, and I'm incredibly excited to see how this plays out. So thank you very much. I'm Flight Penguin, and I'll see you in the next one.